What if I told you the way you're budgeting right now might actually be the reason you feel stuck financially? And what if I also told you there's not just one right way to budget, but finding the right method for you could change everything? Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover which budgeting method actually works best for you. And the answer might surprise you. Number 1. The envelope method. Imagine walking into a grocery store with only cash. In an envelope marked groceries, and that's all you can spend. That's the envelope method in action. It's simple, old school, and powerful. Here's how it works. At the start of the month, you set a spending limit for each category like groceries, gas, entertainment, and you put that amount of cash in separate envelopes. Once the cash is gone, you stop spending in that category. That's it. Why does this work so well for beginners? Because it forces you to visually and physically see your limits. It's also a great choice if you've struggled with overspending on credit cards. One of my clients cut her dining out bill by over $200 a month just by sticking to her restaurant's envelope. But here's the downside. It doesn't work well if you mostly shop online or hate carrying cash. If that's you, don't worry. There's a modern version of this called digital envelopes, using apps like Good Budget. Could this be your perfect fit? Hang on, because we have more to explore. Number 2. The 50-30-20 rule. Let me paint a picture. You get your paycheck. Let's say it's $2,000. Instead of guessing where it should go, you divide it like this. 50% goes to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or paying off debt. That means $1,000 for needs, $600 for wants, and $400 for your future. Why do so many beginners love this method? Because it's flexible and easy to remember. You don't have to track every penny. It just gives you clear targets to aim for. 1. Viewer of mine wrote in saying he finally managed to save his first emergency fund after years of trying. All because he followed this rule. But here's the catch. If your needs are already taking more than 50% of your income, this rule might feel impossible at first. If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You can adjust the percentages or start with a smaller savings goal. So, is this the method that will finally click for you? Or is there something even better? Number 3. Zero-based budgeting. What if I told you every single dollar you earn could have a job, and none of it would be wasted? That's what zero-based budgeting is all about. With this method, you plan out your income down to the very last dollar. You take your monthly income, subtract all your planned expenses and savings, and make sure it equals to zero. No dollar left unassigned. For example, if you earn $3,000, you might allocate $1,200 for rent, $500 for food, $300 for utilities, $600 for savings, $400 for fun. The total equals to $3,000. Why do some people swear by this? Because it gives you total control over your money. You can see exactly where everything is going. No more "where did my paycheck go?" at the end of the month. I once coached a young couple who managed to pay off $15,000 of credit card debt in 2 years using zero-based budgeting. But here's the downside. It takes time. You'll need to track and adjust every month. If you're detail-oriented and like being in control, this could be your perfect match. If you hate spreadsheets, maybe not. But what if you want something even simpler? Keep watching. Number 4. The pay yourself first method. This one is beautifully simple. You take care of your savings and future first, and then live on the rest. Here's how it works. The moment your paycheck hits your account, you immediately transfer a set amount, say 15%, into savings or investments. Then you use what's left for everything else. Why does this work? Because you remove the temptation to spend your savings. It's like putting yourself first. One client of mine automated her savings and didn't even notice the difference until a year later when she had saved over $5,000 without feeling it. This is great for people who don't want to think too much about budgeting, but still want to make progress. If you struggle with tracking every expense, this could be your method. But there's a trade-off. You might not notice where the rest of your money is going. If you need tighter control over spending, this might feel too loose. Number 5. The no budget budget. Wait, no budget? Yup, you heard that right. For some people, traditional budgeting feels restrictive and stressful, so instead, you set up automatic transfers to savings and bills, and then you can freely spend the rest. For example, you might set up automatic payments for rent, utilities, and your 401k contributions. Then you know those priorities are covered. and you can spend guilt-free on what's left. It's simple, low stress, and works surprisingly well for people with a steady income who already live below their means. But don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean you can ignore your spending completely. You still need to check in occasionally and make sure you're not overspending. It's a great fit for people who hate micromanaging every dollar but still want to feel responsible. Number 6. Which one is best for you? So here's the big question. Which method is right for you? That depends on your personality, lifestyle, and goals. If you're someone who struggles with overspending and needs clear boundaries, the envelope method could be your best friend. If you like simplicity and flexibility, the 50-30-20 rule might be just right. If you want complete control and you're willing to put in the time, zero-based budgeting is a winner. If you'd rather set it and forget it, pay yourself first, or the no-budget budget could be perfect. And here's the secret. You don't have to stick with just one forever. You can mix, match, and evolve your budgeting style as your life changes. For example, you might start with the envelope method to get your spending under control, then switch to the 50-30-20 rule once you're more disciplined. I once had a viewer who started with envelopes, transitioned to zero-based, and now lives happily on a no-budget plan, all because she learned what worked for her at each stage. And here's a little hint. If you're still not sure, start with the 50-30-20 rule. It's the easiest to try, and it'll help you see where your money is going without getting overwhelmed. Number 7. How each method feels day to day. With the envelope method, you feel like you're holding yourself accountable every day. You open your envelope before making a purchase, and you see how much you have left. For example, one viewer said, she used to swipe her card all week, only to be shocked by her bank statement. After switching to cash envelopes, she realized she was spending $300 a month just on coffee shops. With the 50-30-20 rule, it feels more relaxed. You know your limits for needs, wants, and savings, but you don't have to check your bank account every hour. It's a good fit if you want structure without rigidity. With zero-based budgeting, you feel in control, but it's also more work. You'll need to sit down weekly to track what you spent and adjust for next month. Some people love the feeling of mastery that comes with that level of detail. Pay yourself first feels freeing. You get to enjoy your money guilt-free because you already took care of your future first. One guy emailed me saying he felt like a weight was lifted when he automated his savings. And the no-budget method? It feels casual. You still take care of the big stuff automatically, but you don't sweat the small stuff. It works well if you already have good habits and don't overspend easily. So think about how you want to feel about your money. That might help you choose your method even more than the math. Number 8. What if it doesn't work right away? Now, you might be wondering, what if I pick a method and I still mess up? That's normal. Budgeting takes practice. Just like learning to ride a bike, you're going to wobble at first. That's okay. You're building a skill you weren't taught in school, so cut yourself some slack. If the envelope method feels too strict, try the 50-30-20 rule. If you hate tracking every single dollar, try pay yourself first. If you keep forgetting to check your envelopes or app, automate more. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. One of my favorite stories is from a young dad who emailed me saying, I started budgeting 3 times and quit each time. On my 4th try, it finally clicked. Now I'm saving $500 a month, and my wife and I finally stopped fighting about money. So don't quit. Just adjust. Number 9. How to make any method work better. Here's a little bonus for sticking around. No matter which method you pick, these tips will make it work better. First, automate as much as you can. Set up automatic transfers to savings, bills, and investments. That way, even if you forget to check your envelopes or spreadsheet, you're still moving forward. Second, track your progress monthly. Take 10 minutes at the end of the month to look back. What worked? What didn't? Even just writing down one thing you do differently next month can make a huge difference. Third, build a small emergency fund. When unexpected expenses pop up, and they always do, you won't have to blow up your budget to handle it. Aim for $500 to $1,000 to start. And finally, celebrate your wins. If you pay off a credit card, if you save your first 1,000, treat yourself to something small and fun. That positive feeling keeps you motivated. Number 10. Why budgeting isn't just for broke people. Here's something nobody talks about. Budgeting isn't just for people who are broke. Even millionaires budget. Why? Because budgeting gives you choice. It gives you control. It helps you tell your money what to do, instead of wondering where it went. I've worked with high earners who made six figures but still lived paycheck to paycheck until they learned how to budget. And I've worked with low-income families who built their first emergency fund and finally felt safe because they chose a method and stuck to it. So no matter where you are right now, this is for you. You deserve to feel confident and in control of your money. Your turn. You've made it to the end, and now you know the most popular budgeting methods, how they work, how they feel, and even how to adjust if things don't go perfectly. So here's my question for you. If you could wake up tomorrow and feel totally confident about where your money is going, which method would you choose? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your answer.